Heidi ho, YouTubers! Today we're gonna make some you-know-what hits the fan beef stew. I got a special deal on pot roast at the store. It was $1.99 a pound, so I bought a big one, about 3 pounds there. Most of this is actually some grass-fed, non-GMO stuff, so the gals over at No to GMO will probably like that. I've got everything prepared ahead of time, what the French chefs call mirepoix. My good friend MS Amour from YouTube will probably correct me on the pronunciation, but that means pre-prepping ahead. We've diced all of the beef, and I cleaned it all and trimmed it. I'm not really looking to get rid of the fat, but what I'm really trying to get rid of there is this, I don't know if you can see that silvery skin kind of stuff that runs through your meat and makes it really tough. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some olive oil in the biggest skillet I have, and I'm going to brown all that up, all this beef, because I like to get a little caramelization on it. That gives good flavor to your beef stew. And once I get all this browned up, we'll come back and I'll show you how to put the rest of it together. Okay, well that's done. That was about 8 pounds of beef altogether, so it took 4 loads in that great big skillet. Now we got all this nice crumbly stuff in the bottom of the skillet. We're going to do what's called deglaze the skillet with some water, and that'll help take all that off of there. I just call it getting the nummies out of the bottom of the skillet, because we're going to put that in the stew. It really makes some good flavor. I didn't try to cook the beef all the way through. It was a pan sear. I'm just trying to get some good, nice brown coloration on there and caramelize it for flavor. So that helps. And then, let's see, we're going to take all that juices from the bottom of the meat pan and put that in there as well. And we'll deglaze this for a little while, and I'll come back and show you how to put the rest of this together. Well, alrighty then. We got all that meat from before in here. I started, I think, with about 8 pounds. I don't know if I told you that yet, of beef. And all the nummies from the bottom of the skillet have gone in here. I should have measured all this stuff, so you had some measurements for a recipe of your own. But, you know, beef stew is really kind of an individual thing. You can put whatever you like into it, and it'll taste however you want it to. These are all potatoes from the garden last year. Stew's kind of a rustic thing for me, so I just clean them up and I don't even chop them up and don't even bother to peel. So here we go with those. We got a bunch of that in here. I'm shooting for about 5 gallons of stew here, so I've got quite a bit of stuff. Another bowl full of spuds. And we've got some carrots over here. Carrots didn't do too well in the garden. I've got a couple of bags of those little baby potatoes here, or carrots. So we've got quite a few of those in there. And that's taken care of. Here's one whole bunch of celery, cleaned up and chopped into bite-sized chunks. That'll go in. Onions. These are all from the garden. I grew red and white ones this year. I don't know if you can see that. I couldn't get any yellow sets, so I think the yellow ones probably would have kept better in our extended pantry. But these have lasted 6 months, so we did pretty good. They're starting to get a little sprouty, and just about done, but we got enough for this batch out of there, huh? And then we're going to throw in, we had some mushrooms in the fridge that were just starting to open up, so I dice those up and we'll throw those in for a little extra flavor. Okay, so oh, here's one thing. When I diced up the celery, some of the leaves out of the heart of the celery, I just diced those up real fine, and those are going to add a bunch of extra flavor into the stew. Yeah, we're just about getting full there. Here is garlic, and this is all from the garden. I grew all the garlic, a bunch of it this year. You can actually buy garlic at the store, just regular head garlic, you know, and you break it up into individual cloves, and each clove that you plant will turn into a full bulb all on its own. So you get about 10 for 1. So put all that garlic in. We like garlic in our family. And I've got to, just for one little added treat to the taste bud, I cut up a couple little acorn squash from the garden, and put those in. Here's a few bay leaves for flavor. You're going to have to dig those out when we pull it out of the pot. A little water to get things started. We're going to render a lot of water out of those vegetables, so we're not going to put too much in to start with. I'll keep an eye on it and we'll go from there. Bunch of black pepper. My grinder broke, so I'm having to use pre-ground. A bunch of salt. Salt and pepper to taste, and as we go along, I'll adjust. Okay, well, we're gonna simmer this up for about an hour, and not too long, because I don't want the potatoes to turn to mush when we can it. Looks like I got about 4.5 gallons here, so we'll see how we do in a little while. Here's an idea for you, though, too. If you got to time something in a SHTF scenario, try to find one of these at a junkyard or a auction or an antique store or something. No batteries, Mom. Okay, we'll see you in a little while.